Welcome to this week's Teaching Raid live stream, broadcasting live from Sarlona. For those new to these events, these are weekly events that we do on Sarlona. The High Lords of Malkier and I host them pretty much every Saturday through the winter and spring. And we take in folks that are newer to these raids and we teach them how they work. Every week we do a different raid. And sometimes we get folks that are new to the game. Sometimes we get longtime players that just haven't done the raid that we're doing that week, or they're still learning it. So it's not necessarily people that some of them will be first timers, but some of them maybe have done the raids a few times and still feel like they have a bit to learn. And so we take those folks as well. And there's lots of raids that you can run a whole bunch of times, like Von 5, for example. You could easily run a dozen times and still not really have a good idea of what's going on. And we're not trying to make these folks experts at these raids. We're just trying to give them, a basic level of competency so that, they feel comfortable maybe joining a pug and have a, having a reasonable idea of, what's going on and what they're supposed to be doing. So I'm going to start inviting the folks that are signed up. So you got plenty of time if you're watching a live stream to go get a drink or whatever it is. Hey, Bauxite, welcome.
Thanks for the invite.
Yeah, welcome, Rimner. Welcome, Sneak.
Hello.
Welcome, Angry Tiger. Welcome, Karis.
Thanks very much.
Welcome, Noah. A couple last minute sign-ups here. I'm going to get them in. We're going to get started. Hey, Robert, welcome in live chat. Hey, Obit, welcome. As long as you're flagged, then you are more than qualified to join the teaching raid, because that's what these are for folks that, if you know nothing about the raid. Last year, I remember we even had one person that had never joined a raid before, ever. In fact, we had a person that had never even grouped with anybody else in DDO before. That was pretty awesome. Hey, Zadok, welcome.
Thank you.
Alright, that's everybody who's signed up. So, before we get started, the one thing that's important for you to have with you ahead of time is... is remove curse pots. It's really important that you have remove curse pots. So that's something you should have with you at all times anyways, but if you don't have, say, at least 20 of them, you should definitely go and get some. You have plenty of time to go to a vendor and get some. Hey, dude, thanks for coming.
We're doing normal.
Yeah, so we're just going to be doing normal tonight, folks. So if you need to pause your bravery bonuses, please do that. You got time to do that. And I'm going to share the raid just to make sure everybody's flagged. And I'm not getting an error message from anyone, so that's great. That means everybody's flagged. And like I said, go ahead and get remove curse spots if you need to.
Do you recommend them over the spell?
Well, I do in the sense that it's a mana savings. Loth will spam curses, so if you are, throwing that many of the regular spell on yourself, that could be a chunk of your mana. So it's really up to you.
No, I've got the pots anyways, I just was wondering.
It can actually be useful. Maybe not so much on normal, but Loth can spam curses so rapidly that some people actually like to have both the guild curse pots and the regular vendor curse pots because they're on different cooldowns. I mean, she spams them that quickly that you have to alternate between the two. Like if you're part of the melee group that's on Law, that is pretty ridiculous. And it's the curse that she gives is the kind of curse that you can't be healed when you have it, so it's like uber important, especially on higher difficulties, that you get rid of your curse like as soon as possible. So we have a lot of new folks signed up for this. Over half the group are folks that are signed up to learn the event. In fact, I just got 3 guildies here to help me, and so the other 8 people here are sign-ups that are here learning. But I want to know who here has never done it before, or if you've done it a few times and you're still learning.
I'm brand new to it.
I've probably been in it more than a few times, but I just don't really get how to get around in it.
Okay, so we got a lot of first-timers, and some folks that have done it once or twice. This is definitely that's the most confusing thing about this raid, is just finding your way around. And so we'll help to make sense of things for you. Like I said, we're just going to do normal, and it's going to be pretty easy for us. But, we like to do lower difficulties for these teaching raids because, we want them to be low-stress learning environments where we're not worrying about, raising people and stuff. And there's a death timer, too. So I don't want, if you die, I don't want you to have to sit there and, wait for 2 minutes. So go ahead and step in. It's the center portal in the Evening Star Cavern. And like I said, we're just doing normal, so if you need to pause your bravery bonus, go for it. Also want to, make sure everybody knows that tonight's event is being live streamed. We've been live streaming all the teaching raids this year. So we just got 9 people watching now. We probably won't have more than about 20 or 30 people watching at any given time. But what's cool is there's actually other people. There are people from other servers that are learning along with you guys too, and that are asking questions. It's pretty cool. Yep, you have to watch what you say. Somebody in the live chat said they tried to solo it and got killed. This is not really a solo friendly raid. I suppose it's probably possible. I think people have done it, but it's the mechanics in it are not solo friendly at all. I've never soloed it or even tried. We're just missing a couple people. There's somebody in the live chat that says they've still never raided. Is there anybody here who's never joined one of our teaching raid events before? I know many of you have. Okay, cool. Well, welcome. And welcome back, everybody else. Hrimner, so, like I said, it's a learning environment. I'm gonna explain as much as I can about the raid, but if you ever want more explanation of something, you're confused about something, you're lost, so you can speak up anytime. Even if I'm talking, you can interrupt me if you're lost or something. It's fine. And so, like I said, I got a few of my guildies here to help out, to help make it a smooth run, and everybody else here is learning along with you guys. So. Okay, we are all in. So much of the map for this raid is actually the same as the Explorer area. It's a little bit different. There's some minor differences, but it is, in large part, just sections of the Demon Web Explorer Zone. And we're not actually sort of starting at the beginning. We're sort of plopped kind of in the middle, and we'll be doubling back over where we are right now, and I'll point out, because it won't be obvious, if you're new to this, and it's not going to be obvious when we're running back through that that's where we came in. And for those of you watching the live stream, so here we are right here. This is where we're entering. And we're going to go here to the first Loth fight, and then we're going to double back and head over. Okay, let's get some buffs. And before we get started, I want to also tell you that if you fall off the strands here, you will die, and you get teleported to the first Loth fight, which is actually where we're going to be going right now. So it's not like the Explorer Zone where if you fall off, you just get teleported somewhere random. So try not to fall off the web strand. If you start to lag, just maybe wait till the lag subsides before you try to go up or down one of these thin strands. All right, we're going to go down first. And kill the 2 living mobs before you kill the mistress. The mistress should be killed last, just like in the quest. If you kill the mistresses first, then they're just going to sacrifice living mobs around them and regenerate. So now we're going to jump down to the east. Jump over the edge to the east. Fall way down, just feather fall down onto the web strand. There's going to be some mobs for us to kill.
So orange mobs first.
Living mobs first, and then the mistresses last, because again, she's going to sacrifice. If you kill her first, if you try to kill her first, she'll sacrifice a living mob around her and just get her health back. And when she does that, she has like DR and more hit points and stuff. It's just harder to kill. And like I said at the start, this is going to be really easy on normal. But in these teaching raids, we really try to focus on raid mechanics. Just kill all the trash here. And this is actually an escort quest. So the object, we're not actually going to be killing Loth, although we will fight her a couple times. The object of the raid is actually to get Anna here, who was the star of the flagging chain. The object is just to get her out of the demon web. So here's where we pick up Anna. And I want to say, so one person is going to escort her. She's going to follow one person, whoever talks to her. But if you ever, if you ever talk to her by accident, she's easy to click on by accident. You thought she was a mob, you clicked on her, whatever. If you click on her, she's going to start following you. So it's really important, like if you're ever in a pug or something, and you click on Anna by accident, let everybody know, or let the leader know, or whoever's escorting Anna, so that they know to get her back from you. it's important that, whoever's supposed to be leading her is actually leading her and knows what to do with her. There are some places that you want to like park her off to the side so she doesn't get hurt. Some of the chests at the end, like the number of chests that we have at the end, are in part determined by Anna's health. So if she takes a lot of damage throughout the raid, we get less chests. And so as soon as I talk to Anna, Loth will appear, and she'll have like a shield on her. She'll appear translucent, and you won't be able to attack her. And Anna is gonna like draw the energy out of this orb in front of us, and once she does that, she will bring down Loth's shield, and then the melees will be able to DPS her, and other people will be able to DPS her. Loth has like these laser beams that she shoots out of her eyes that will suck down your mana super fast. In fact, on Elite, if you get hit by her laser beams once, she will remove your entire blue bar. So box out your 5,600 spell points would be instantly gone, which that's very impressive spell point pool, by the way. So the point is that, sometimes blue bars casters like to just sort of hide at this point, and you can hide behind the ledge, you can hide behind these tusk looking things or off to the side and just sort of pop out and throw a spell and then pop back. You definitely don't want to be in Loth's line of sight if you're a caster for this part. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and talk to Anna, and everybody should be hiding behind the ledge right now. And I'm hiding behind this giant elephant tusk or whatever it is. So she's just gonna take about 30 seconds to draw down this orb, and we got some trash here. Anna can be buffed, by the way, so I'm gonna put like resistances on her. Whatever buffs you got. Blur is good. Got some spiders down there you guys can kill. Okay, Anna has taken Loth's shield down now, and so the melees can run up to Loth. And you'll be basically attacking Loth's belly button. Do not run over the edge, though. It's very easy to run over the edge and die. So don't fall off, but make sure you're close enough that you're actually getting numbers. So make sure you're looking to see that you're getting damage numbers. If you get hit by a Loth's attack, she can curse you. And like I said at the start, it's the kind of curse that'll make it so you can't be healed, so make sure you get your curses right away. Yeah, it does look like an elephant tusk, doesn't it, Cheddar? Cheddar Mentos, is that a thing? I don't know what they're supposed to be.
Can't find a spot where we're actually hitting her.
I don't play melees, but maybe one of the High Lords can give us help us out. Is there a sweet spot up there or something?
Under her boob.
Everything's under her boobs. Okay, what we're going to do now is we're going to fight her spider legs, which are going to pop up under the platform. And they're going to be pretty easy to beat down on normal. And every time we beat one down, a Bevelith soul will appear. In fact, almost everything in here has to be killed twice. Pretty much every mob, when you kill it, will then turn into a soul version of itself, and you got to kill it again.
Welcome to the real epic version of Inferno of the Damned.
And so you can see in the upper right hand corner it says do battle with Loth's spider form, destroy the legs 6 left. So we gotta do 6 more legs. They go down super quick now. If you have if you're standing where the legs pop up, you're gonna get tossed off, and if you get blown off the platform, you're gonna die. If you have stand against the tide or other knockdown immunity, it doesn't usually send you flying as much, but it still can. you'll see that the ground starts to shake like kind of like an earthquake right before the leg comes up. You only have like a split second warning, but if you're watching for it, you know, you can avoid it. And on normal, we don't have to be too organized. If you were with, you know, if you're doing elite and you were doing it shorthanded or you had a lower DPS group, you know, you might want to be a little bit more organized about doing like one leg and then kill the Babeless Soul before you try to get on the legs again, and you just alternate between leg, soul, until you get all 8. Once the 8th leg is destroyed, Loth will reappear. And I didn't see how far we beat her down already, but we may have to beat her down a little bit more.
Ooh, I got knocked off the edge.
So did I.
Yeah, that's gonna happen. Yeah, it's not a whole lot you can do about that.
Same here.
Now is the time to experience this. I mean, it's gonna happen, you know, you join a pug, it's gonna happen. There's not a whole lot you can do about it. Okay, Loth returned, but we had beat her down enough so that when she reappeared, she just disappeared right away. And if you look up, you'll see we have this hand of Loth, hand of the goddess, floating around. And that's going to stalk us for a couple of minutes until we get to a certain point. And when it hits the ground, it's going to do a Wail of the Banshee. So you got to have Death Block. Or at least Death Ward. There's a Res Shrine right here. So if you fall off, so here's an important point too. If you fall off the Demon Web, any part of this raid, you are going to appear right here on this platform, and there is a Resurrection Shrine right here. It's kind of hard to see because it's like translucent, but it's here. Now, there are a couple optionals we're going to do. When those optionals are completed, there'll be portals that'll appear right here. One will be over here on the right, where I'm jumping right now. Okay? That'll be the first one that appears. And after the second optional, and I'll tell you when we're doing them, another portal will appear here on the left. So if you fall off and die, you won't have to run all the way back to us. You can take the portals and get like most of the way back to us. So like I said, the right one will appear first. That'll take you like halfway through things. And then the left portal is after the second optional, and that'll actually take you almost to the end of the raid. And like I said, make sure you look up at the Hand of Goddess. Just take a second to look at it and watch when it hits the ground. It'll do a Wail of the Banshee. Looks like she found me. She's hanging out above me. Okay. We can head out to the west. And you never want to get too far ahead of the person that's escorting Anna, because Anna is the trigger for mob spawning. So if you're like zerging way ahead, you know, you're missing all the mobs. You definitely want to stay with the, you know, the leader or whoever. So mobs spawn as soon as Anna gets here. Anna is terribly uncooperative. In fact, if you know Anna, you may hate her about as much as Coil, if you know who Coil is.
Oh,
Really?
she can't
That bad?
That bad, can she?
Yeah, well, you know, if you start running this raid regularly and you start leading her around, yeah, I've lost sleep at night because of my love-hate relationship with Anna. She gets caught up on things, so it's important not to get too far ahead of her. But if you get too far ahead of her, she will teleport to you. But she, you know, like if you're leading her around, you go to try to talk to her. In fact, I got to talk to her now and tell her not to fight. That's an important selection. So the person leading her, and then you approach her and she runs away from you. And that's what girls do to me in real life. When I approach them, they run away from me. So I'm used to it. In any event, the person who's leading her, wants to say, let's see, we need you to stay alive, do not help us fight. So that's the option I'm clicking now. So now she won't engage in melee. And, you know, like I said at the start, it's really windy and twisty in here. It's really easy to get lost. You just sort of have to know the path through. But like I said, if it helps, it is in large part the same as the Explorer Zone. So here is this where we started? Yeah, right here is where actually we
Yep.
stepped in. Right where I'm at right now. Now we're going back through.
Since we're back at the start, want to mention one of the more unique things about this raid?
Which is what?
No lockout.
Oh, that's a really good point. Yeah. So people can join late at any time, right up until completion. And the raid won't complete until you complete a dialogue at the end. So it's not even like killing a boss, for example, like what would complete most raids. So you can actually bring a tune in here, run it all the way to the end, get to the end, and then switch to an alt. Like, let's say if you wanted to bring a healer to help heal, but then you wanted to loot on a different tune, you could do that all the way up to the end. Here's a spot where Anna gets caught up on a lot here. Right where I'm jumping is a little crevice. Welcome to everybody who's watching the live stream, by the way. For those of you who missed the beginning, this is this week's teaching raid. We're doing Caught in the Web. And this is, we got 8 newbies here. Most of them first timers, a couple of them done it once or twice and still learning. And then me and 3 of my guildies to help out. If there are people watching and you're learning along with it too, because I know there are some. If you have questions just in chat there, I'll be happy to answer. My attention is focused on here in the raid, but I'm looking over at the chat every few minutes. We got a master spy over here that is going to be sacrificed. Yep. So notice that the mistress is glowing red, and this is just the same as the flagging quest, so she's a little tougher to kill after she sacrifices and regenerates. And now we're going to go to the east into this portal. And this is actually the first optional. And by doing these optionals, we're going to get an extra chest. There'll be trash that continuously respawns until the boss is killed. It's that Glabber Zoo over there, the mini boss. So go ahead and work on the Glabber Zoo. He's going to toss you up into a ceiling of spikes, which can hurt on higher difficulties if you have lower hit points. If you notice in the upper right hand corner it says optional, help Anna destroy all 4 artifacts. So that's what this orb is right here. There are no static shrines in this raid. The only way to get a shrine is to talk to Anna and tell her to summon one. And when you do that, she loses health. So this is another very important point. Don't ever, ever talk to Anna and tell her to pop a shrine. Let the leader do that. If you do that on your own, you're probably going to get yelled at. And a big part of why we do these teaching raids is so you don't get yelled at in a pug. I don't want you to do things that are going to get you yelled at. We're not going to yell at you here. But I'm just letting you know, like, let the leader decide when it's time to pop a shrine. Don't just pop them on your own. So that's actually one of the things that people will do if they're griefing this raid, is they'll talk to Anna and just tell her to keep summoning shrines. And then you lose out on chests, and then it pisses everybody off, and then people squelch you if you do that. Okay, so in addition to showing you how the raids work, we also like to show you what happens when things go wrong. So earlier I said when you fall off, you die, and you get sent back to the start. So we're just going to all commit suicide right now so you can see that. Just go ahead and jump off.
Just go ahead and jump. Away at the board before you get up.
That's fine. And you could just use the shrine. I want you guys to know what to do. When you get into a raid and that happens to you, I want you guys to know what to do. So you just raise yourself, and notice that portal, remember I said there was going to be portals that appear? The first one would be on the right. There it is. So go ahead and take a minute to buff up again here.
So I recently was in a pug of one of these, and there were 2 portals here.
Yep.
I didn't know which one to go into, and I picked one, and immediately got swarmed and killed by whatever was in the other portal. So mobs will spawn again afterwards?
That's a good question. They might have left trash there. I'm not sure that I can remember that ever happening. So the only thing I can guess is just they just left trash.
Okay.
So we finished the first optional. So the right portal's up. That's the one we'll take. Once we do the second optional, the left portal will appear, and that's the one you'd want to take because that takes you further along. Go ahead and jump through the portal, and you can see we're right here. You know, before we went into the portal. So yeah, they must have left trash behind. That's the only thing I can imagine. Oh, Anna. Where's Anna? Back at the start.
Yes, she's sleeping here.
Ugh, now I'm gonna have to commit suicide and get her. Actually, Noah, you're still there, aren't you?
Yes.
Can you go ahead and talk to Anna and then bring her through the portal, please?
Okay.
Cool, thank you. This is where we fought Lot the first time, and where you get sent back to if you die.
She didn't have a full.
She takes a few seconds to teleport to you. She should.
Oh, okay.
I saw her following you on the map. Let's keep moving and see if she teleports to you. If not, I might have to go back and just drag her back through. Well, crap. I thought she'd teleport to you. That's... Okay, guys, you're gonna have to wait right here while I go back and get her. Yep, she's still here looking at the portal. I told you she's uncooperative. And yeah, I'm just gonna have to run all the way back to you guys. Yeah, just sit right there, because like I said, she's actually the trigger for mob spawning, so we don't want to go beyond that point. Yeah, I'm hovering, Robert. Oh, I gotta turn my aura back on. I'm looking at the chat right now. Chatter, you've asked, can you restart it? I'm not sure what you're referring to. I think you might be asking about an earlier comment. Anna got stuck down there. I'm watching chat and not her. She gets, you know, she throws tantrums when you're not paying attention to her. She pouts. She just stands in the corner and pouts. And I got stuck in that spot that I was telling you about when we ran by earlier, but I got her now. The recording software I'm using OSB to broadcast, but normally I don't know. I could bring one of those box of chocolates in here and see if it'll work. Normally with my regular videos, I use a program called Debut by NCH Software. There's a free version. Actually, I have a video up on my channel that says like how I record and edit my videos, where I talk about it and I show what I use and how I do it. It's all very low tech. I am back with you, and more mobs have spawned because Anna is here. While this raid can seem really easy on normal, this part, by the way, that we're coming to right now was historically a very challenging part because it's a multi-tiered little area, and it would make it very difficult for like healers to heal you because people would be blocked by the, you know, they'd be on different levels and they'd be blocked, and it was also historically appropriate to tell Anna just to wait here at the start of it while everybody. Oops, I didn't even spawn the mobs yet. Oh, I guess they have spawned. While everybody else kills everything. There's going to be lots of mistresses and lots of other mobs that you want to kill first. Remember, we want to kill mistresses last. So we're just going to sacrifice and become stronger if we kill the mistresses first. So while this is going to be pretty easy for us to complete on normal, Elite is definitely not to be blown off. Because this is an older raid and came out when the level cap was 25, it's pretty common for people to blow it off and think, oh, Elite is nothing, and we'll just take 6 people in there and just not be serious about it. And then you get to the end fight and Loth is, you know, zapping everybody's spell points and double shotting everybody. And suddenly everybody's dead. It can happen really quickly. The end fight in Epic Elite can be pretty serious. Okay, I'm gonna go get Anna. Don't follow me. Oops. I jumped off the wrong part, and now I'm gonna die. That was ridiculous. I can't believe I did that. But I didn't have Anna, so I don't have to go through that rigmarole again. Because I parked her. So the point is, you know, I was saying Epic Elite should definitely not be blown off. Don't think you're going to go in there with, you know, you and 4 people and no healer and everything's going to be fine. It can be done, I'm just saying, and you definitely need to take it seriously. I'm back with you guys now. We can keep moving. Sorry about that. This is another part that, you know, if you were doing EE and, you know, you maybe had a small crew or a lower DPS crew, you might want to park Anna right here at the start of this fight. so she doesn't get in the way. And you just tell her stay here while I scout ahead. There's gonna be some.
Is it possible for Anna to die?
What did you say? Oh, is it possible for her to die? No, she
Can-
cannot die.
Oh, okay.
Now I'm gonna go back and get her because I parked her at the start.
I cut the corner.
Oh, there's a little hole up there that's there to trick you. And yeah, you
Yeah, I
go right in the middle
cut
of
it right through there.
I've done that. Yeah, you can bet that they designed it like that so you'd fall right down through that hole. It's right here is where you probably fell. It's very easy to not see that that's a hole as you're coming up. Just take the portal, and when you come through the portal, just keep going straight. And if you can't find us, then I'll come get you. This is the second optional here, guys. And this is basically the same kind of thing as the first optional. It's just going to be, there's a mini boss, there's going to be a bunch of trash, it's going to continuously spawn until the mini boss is dead. In this case, it's Bebla. So once the boss is dead, trash stops spawning, and you can bring Anna over here to suck down this orb.
How do you get her to use the orb? Just to click the orb?
No, you just need to bring her near it, and she'll automatically start doing it. But if you ever bring her near it and she doesn't do it, make sure that you select the option that says "Let's keep looking for artifacts." Because if you have her set to the selection that says "Please ignore artifacts," and then she won't. Let me see what it says. Okay, so there's an option that says it's time to leave. Please ignore artifact orbs, and that's basically telling her drop everything and follow me. So if that was the last thing you selected, she might not start drawing it down right away, and you would need to tell her let's keep looking for artifacts.
Gotcha, thanks.
Yep. And now that we've completed this second optional, that second what happens? Did you fall?
Yes.
He really wanted those spiders.
So now both of those portals will be up. If you fall, you just take the left one. So as we're coming out of the portal, we're going to jump down to the left, like to the northeast. And Anna doesn't jump down, but she will teleport to us once I get too far away from her. And as you get about 3/4 of the way across the next strand, you can jump down to the left, just a little bit of a shortcut. Otherwise, if you just went straight ahead, you would just wind down through the path. This is right here where we're jumping down. This is where that multi-tiered area was, where I said, it can be difficult for healers to heal you. So there were actually two different ways to leave. So there's an important point. Right here is like a fork in the raid. We came from one way, and then you can leave two ways from there. One goes to that second optional, and the other one goes here, which is toward the end. So we went and did the second optional first, and doubled back a little bit. Now that Anna is teleported to me, there should be mobs that spawn. Which, there they are. Some spawn on the platform over there. We're almost to the end. And there's going to be like sort of a staging platform before the end fight. Once we clear that, we're going to pop a shrine so everybody can get healed up and get their mana back.
I'm at the second portal. Which way do I go?
So you're going to jump down to the left. If you're facing away from the portal, you're going to jump down to the left. So you're going to go northeast. And you're going to see a strand that's heading to the northeast. Yep, you're going the right way. And you're going to go across that strand. And then once you get about 3/4 of the way across that strand, you can jump down to your left again and catch that other strand that's going west. Yep, just to your left now, you should see another strand down there. You got it. And just go west from there and you'll meet up with us. Okay, this is the end fight staging platform, so kill everything here, and then I'll explain how the end fight works. If you're ever in a group and the end fight gets overwhelming, because when you get on higher difficulties, there's a death timer, and it's like 2 minutes. It's ridiculous. Things can get out of hand really quick once you start getting, you're losing 4, 5, 6, 7 people. You can always grab soul stones and just come down here. And if too much stuff is following you, you just go to the next island, or even the next island after that, and just sort of, take all the stones there, raise everybody, get everybody healed up and buffed up, and then you just come right back. So you really have all the time in the world for the end fight. So I'm saying that's how you'd want to regroup if things started to go poorly. There's really no sense of urgency. Although there is one, at the very end there's going to be respawning mobs, and you need to, quickly kill them all, but if you had to just go back down and sort of regroup, the mobs are only going to respawn to a certain number, and then they're just going to be there waiting for you. Okay, I'm going to pop a shrine now by talking to Anna and saying, just tell her to pop a shrine, and it says it costs her health. You can safely pop 2. You can actually do 3 and still get all your chests, but if you do 3, if she takes any level of damage, you're going to lose out on a chest, but you can usually do 2 without a problem. Most groups you probably just do 1, like right here at the end. When you tell Anna to pop a shrine, this temporary shrine only lasts for 3 minutes, so make sure that you use it pretty quickly. Don't buff up yet, though, because I'm going to take a minute to explain. This end fight really is sort of the hard part of the raid, and it has kind of a unique, it's unique among end fights. It's not just go in and kill a boss and then you win. It needs to be organized, and if it's not, it can be totally incompletable, because there are respawning mobs, and you have to kill certain mobs quickly and have all of those certain types of mobs dead in order to clear the way for this barrier to come down and to take Anna out. And if people are just sort of running around everywhere disorganized and mobs continuously respawn, it becomes uncompletable. And so if you're in a disorganized pug, this is the part where people are going to be yelling and screaming at each other over mic, and it can be really unfun if it's, like I said, if it's not organized. So here's how it's going to work. When we go to the top of the strand that's to the west, Loth is going to be up there to the right, so to the north, at the end of the platform in the north. And she's not going to be vulnerable right away. She's going to have that shield up, and there's an orb up there that Anna's going to have to, or actually we take Anna up to her, and Anna will bring down her shield. So that's one of the first things that I'll do is have Anna bring down her shield. But before we do that, there's going to be a whole bunch of trash up there, which we're going to bring down here and fight right here. Now, with the new, you may know that about 2 months ago, maybe, they changed how the aggro mechanics work. And so traditionally, you didn't want to aggro. There are mobs in the south, to the left at the top of the ramp, that you don't want to aggro right away. And there's one specific mob who is called the Exalted Necromancer. And you want to leave him there and basically kill him absolutely last Because once he dies, everything spawns faster. Like before he's dead, everything spawns at a rate of about I think every maybe couple of minutes. And once he's dead, everything will spawn like every minute. So things spawn considerably faster when he's dead. But with the new aggro mechanics, I've actually only done this a few times since then. So it seems like everything just wants to aggro on us. But one time I think it didn't. So I'm not really sure now if we can avoid the south from not being aggroed, but we're going to try. So the bottom line is, when we go up there, don't go left at the top of the strand, don't go south. Just leave that stuff alone, don't range it, because if you start ranging it, you're going to draw it all over. And we want to leave the Exalted Necromancer way at the south end of the platform and kill him very, very last. So we're going to run up, I'm going to run up, or someone's going to run up, grab trash, bring it down, we're going to kill trash here. We'll probably have that person, the trash collector, go up and get another round of trash, bring it down, kill it all. And while that's going on, there's going to be spell wards that spawn. So roguish types can get those if they would please. Once we kill a couple rounds of trash, we'll all go up. We'll have Anna bring down Loth's shield. The melees will go up and fight Loth. You'll be fighting her belly button again. She can shoot her laser beam eyes and suck down all your mana again. Really tricky for casters in here. Once we beat down Loth, and she's going to curse you again too, and you got to stay on top of your curses too, because you can't be healed when you're cursed. It's really, really important you are on top of your curses. Once we beat down Loth, she's going to disappear. Oh, Zadok. So you need to take Anna just a quarter of the way up the web to spawn the trash. And then the person who's leading Anna should run back and park her. Then the trash picker is going to go all the way up to the top of the platform and sort of run around the platform, do like a lap around to the right, just to get enough aggro, and then bring it right back down. So you need to go all the way up there and then run around that platform a little bit. So once Loth is gone, this is where the organized part, the part that pugs are going to screw up. Disorganized pugs are going to get it all wrong. There's going to be these mobs called Portal Keepers. And the object is to kill all the Portal Keepers in the zone to bring down a barrier so that you can take Anna past that. Once you get Anna past that barrier, she's out of the demon web and you win. That's the objective, is to get Anna past that barrier. And that barrier will stay up as long as there's any living Portal Keepers in the zone. So you have to kill all Portal Keepers really fast. But here's a caveat. If there are any living mobs near a Portal Keeper when you kill it, those living mobs will then turn into a Portal Keeper, getting more hit points and DR, and they're just a lot harder to kill. So you have to kill all the regular mobs first. And then if there are any mistresses, then you need to kill them. Because if you kill the mistresses before the other mobs, the mistresses just sack them. So you got to kill all the living mobs first. And then the mistresses. And then the Portal Keepers. And then the Exalted Necromancer absolutely last. If you're not killing in that order, like I said, mistresses will sack living mobs. Then it makes her harder to kill. If you kill Portal Keepers first, they turn all the living mobs around them into Portal Keepers, making them harder to kill. So it's that order of killing that's really important and is really kind of hard to get disorganized pugs to stick to. You know, if you're just killing Portal Keepers first and there's a whole group of spiders around them, for example, then every one of those spiders turns into a Portal Keeper. You know, the Portal Keepers have more hit points, so you typically, if there's a bunch of mobs around, the trash mobs are going to go down before the Portal Keepers, so you're usually safe, but you know, like I said, is trash mobs first, then mistresses, then Portal Keepers, then Exalted Necromancer. Noah has got it down perfectly. If you're not killing stuff in that order, you're making more work for yourself. Now, you may join a pug, and this it might go as smooth as silk. And you may join a pug that gets up here on Epic Elite and they thought they could blow it off with 5 or 6 or 7 people and they just wipe here in the end fight. But, you know, We're doing these events so you understand the mechanics, and the mechanics of this end fight is something that a lot of people don't really understand how it works. Once Loth is dead, and we get to that point where the group is going to be killing all the portal keepers, whoever is leading Anna really just wants to be up there at the barrier, literally just running into the barrier, so that as soon as that barrier comes down, you get Anna through. Because what can happen is you could kill a portal keeper, kill the last portal keeper, and that barrier could come down, and another one could spawn a second later, and the barrier comes right back up. So it's important that the person with Anna is like literally pushing against the barrier, so that, like I said, the instant it comes down for even half a second, you get through. Otherwise, if the person's just lollygagging around up there, you know, the barrier could come down for a couple seconds and then come right back up, and you don't get Anna through, and then a bunch more mobs spawn, and you have to, you know, beat all them down. And if you don't stay ahead, if you don't have the DPS to out DPS the rate at which they're respawning, this raid becomes incompletable. On normal, it's not going to be a problem. On elite, like I said, you got a light DPS group, a low, you know, or a short-handed group, it can be a problem, especially when you're dealing with 2-minute death timers. So the nutshell version is, we're going to go up and get trash, bring it down, beat it all down, do a couple waves of that. Then we're all going to go up to the right, beat down Loth. Once Loth goes away, we're going to kill all the mobs, portal keepers last, Exalted Necromancer absolutely last. Don't go south till the very end. We take Anna through the barrier once all the portal keepers are dead, and we win. Any questions?
Open had one regarding.
Can you like repeat that, but a bit slower?
Sure. So Opit's question is, do you have to kill portal keeper mistresses after other portal keepers? That's a good question. I don't think the mistresses can sacrifice portal keepers. So the nutshell version, a little bit slower, is we're gonna bring down a couple waves of trash. And we're gonna beat all that down. Then we're all gonna go up the web strand. Melees will go to the right and beat down Loth. Casters and range tunes can sort of hang out in the back and kill trash and hit Loth if there's no trash up there. Once Loth has been beat down, she'll disappear, and that's when we need to start killing all the trash. We kill the trash mobs first, then portal keepers, then, or excuse me, trash mobs first, then mistresses, then portal keepers, and then absolutely last, the Exalted Necromancer in the south. And we don't want to go to the south until the very, very end, until there's nothing left anywhere else. Then you go to the south. And while that's going on, the person who's leading Anna will be up against the barrier all the way at the top, and we'll be running against the barrier, so that as soon as that barrier comes down, Anna gets through and out of the demon web, and we win. Any questions?
Where were the spell words again?
The spell wards are going to spawn down here when the trash mobs are down here, and so they're just going to keep spawning all over the platform. And make sure you're not fighting in them, especially on higher difficulties. You know, lower hit point tunes, if they're fighting in the spell wards, they're going to go down pretty quick. But all over this platform that we're going to be on right now. It's also really important that when we do finally go up the strand, it's not a race, okay? Don't race to get up there. If there are mobs on the strand, beat them down carefully. If you fall off the web strand, you're going to get teleported back to the start. And you got to run all the way back, and that takes time. And we really need people here to be DPSing and not, back running to catch up to us. So just the point is, when you go up and down these strands, make sure you do it carefully. And some of these mobs, like the Garistros, can push you off the strand. So it's a little dangerous. Alright, Syax, can you be the one to go get trash? Thank you. I'm going to take Anna up a little bit until I get a DM message. Okay, the end fight has now officially started. Let's beat down any trash that comes to this platform. And don't go up until we beat down all this trash. I'm going to park Anna in the back. And the lag begins. So Anna freaks out if there are mobs around. It's really hard to talk to her. Stay here while I scout ahead. Even when you tell Anna to stay put, she often doesn't. That's another frustrating thing about her. Like, I just told her, the video will show that I said, stay here while I scout ahead, and she moved. She's running off now. Because she doesn't listen. Sykes, if you could go, oh, we got more mobs coming down. So you see there's a Portal Keeper Master Spy here. Remember to kill Portal Keepers last. If there's anything around them. Oh, I forgot to buff up. I was going to tell us all to buff up after I went through the explanation. I forgot. Sykes, can you go up and get another round of trash for us? You can see we're taking these mobs down pretty quickly, but on Epic Elite, especially like the Portal Keepers, can take a little time to beat down. How we looking up there?
Okay, there's no more trash.
There's what?
There's no more trash.
Okay, everybody go ahead and come up. And make sure you go to the right first. Do not go to the left. Do not go to the south. We do not want to aggro the mobs to the south. So I'm just taking Anna up to Loth for her to bring down Loth's shield. And Anna didn't follow me. Wonderful. Hey, where are you, Anna? There she is. Okay, Anna just brought down Loth's shield, so melees can go ahead and start beating on Loth's belly button. I'm going to bring Anna back here to take down this last artifact orb. Casters and range tunes can hang out in the back, kind of by the orb, like between the orb and the tusk. And you can look in the south too. If you're hanging out, if you're not a melee and you're hanging out in the back, if you look to the south, you'll see there are mobs down there. So we didn't aggro them, and that's good. We just leave them there until the very, very end. That'll be the last place we go. Depending on how high your draw distance is turned up, you'll be able to see the Exalted Necromancer. Portal Keeper Ascended Necromancer he's called. He's the guy we don't want to kill until very, very last, because he's the key. Sort of like everything's going to respawn faster once he's dead. So melees on Loth, casters and range tunes in the back killing trash, but you can range down Loth if there's no trash. I'm just going to run up to the top platform up here to the west to see if there's any mobs up here. Let's get the casters and range tunes that are in the back to go up the strand to the west and kill the mobs up top. Oh, Loth's already beat down. Okay. That was quick. We're just on normal. So everybody can start making their way south, and like I said, you're going to kill trash mobs first, then mistresses, then portal keepers, then the Exalted Necromancer, or the Ascended Necromancer. If you look at, we just got through. We're done. It's that easy. Go up the strand to the west and through the portal, and we're done. But I was gonna say, if you look at the map, you'll be able to see where the portal keepers on the map are, because there's like a red symbol where they're at. So if you're ever not sure, the barrier's not down, you're not sure where they're at, you can see them on your map. and you can watch the little movie of Loth and Anna talking. You can go out there on the bridge too if you want to get a better view. You can't fall off here. I should turn my DM volume up.
So much for your great hope. A remnant of a dead god crushed. My power is a raging river. Hers was but a trickle. Did you really believe that... What's this?
That was your last mistake. This is about to become a deluge! How does it feel? That's pain. Real pain. The kind you make mortals feel all the time!
You trifling flea. I've been reckless. I should have consumed you when I had...
Just need to concentrate. A little harder. There!
Unworthy mortal. How did you come to hold so much power? Enjoy it while you can, for one day I will become the new mistress of magic, the new goddess of the weave, and on that day you will bow down to me along with all the rest.
I did it! We did it! We defeated Lolth! Oh, every step of the way you've been there, helping me, showing me what I can be.
Words truly spoken. We stand here, a company of heroes and protectors of our realm. For few who walk the plains can say they fought a god. Fought and survived as I knew you would. Though perhaps not defeated. She has pulled one leg back, yes, but 7 more work mischief in the world.
And just like in the entire flagging chain, of course, Elminster appears
Still,
right at the end
it is
when
right
all the work
to
is done.
celebrate great deeds. And great deeds ye have done.
Yep.
To the heroes come their just rewards.
So up till the raid still isn't completed, and it won't complete until you talk to Anna. So even up to this point, you could switch to an alt. If you wanted to bring a different tune in to loot, you could do that even up to this point. So I just want to point that out. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and talk to Anna, put your voices on. And then we'll see how many chests we get. Well, they'll be up to 6. Hey, we got all 6. And you can get commendations of heroism from these chests, which you can use to upgrade your caught in the web weapons and your giant hold, epic giant hold, Fall of Truth loot, and to make epic giant hold dragon armors. But you're not guaranteed to get commendations of heroism here. Fall of Truth, the epic giant hold raid, is a better farm if you're trying to get commendations of heroism. Much shorter raid, and you are guaranteed to get commendations of heroism in that raid. So that is the end of Caught in the Web. Does anybody have any questions before we conclude? Did anybody pull anything named?
I saw a Morn in one of the chests.
I remember when dual wielding those was very popular. The pulverizer builds a few years back. Oh, there's the Balazard, nice. Pretty cool rapier. Grats. See if anybody else got anything still in the chests. Oh, there's a Morn. Zadok got it, Grats. I'm going to be shutting down the live stream here in just a minute, but I'm going to stay monitoring the chat for about 5 minutes after the live stream cuts off. So if there are any last questions from the people watching the live stream, I will answer them. And thanks for tuning in. Thanks for saying that, Ravon. Don't forget to turn the quest in to Elminster, where you picked it up at the north of Evening Star, where Chain 3 is. And that is all, guys. Thanks for coming out. There'll be another teaching raid next Saturday at the normal time of 9 p.m. Eastern. I had to do this one a little bit later this week. Well, you're very welcome, Noah. Glad to have you back for another one.
Thanks again, Booth.
You're very welcome.
Okay, who wanted the sword? I didn't realize we both said D100s.
Oh, you... Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Oops.
We both said to roll D100, me low, him high. So I'm going to change mine because of the confusion to a 1, 2, 3 that Opiter rolled first.
I'm going to break now, guys. Again, don't forget to turn in and have a great night. And congrats on your first completions for those of you who it was your first time. Take care, guys.
Thanks again. Later.
Yep. See ya. Okay, guys, I'm going to shut down. You're very welcome, Zeth. I'm going to shut down the live stream now. And like I said, I'm going to monitor the chat for about 5 minutes in case there are any last questions. I'd be happy to answer. And thanks again for watching.